This segment brought to you by Kansas Corn. Learn more at kscorn.com.
Well, I'm so excited to have you visiting today because it shows what we're doing in our classroom and how we're extending the science into our agricultural network here that we have around us in Goddard. And we're just so excited to be doing. I've been wanting to do this lab for 7 years, but we just didn't have the financial resources. And then I spoke at the annual meeting of Kansas Ag in the Classroom Foundation, and I mentioned that too bad we can't do this because we just don't have the glassware and it's quite expensive. A gentleman right out of the audience came up, gave me his card, Jeffrey from ICM, and he came up and said, would $500 help you get started? And he donated $500, and then Kansas Corn caught a hold of it, the Kansas Corn Commission. They came up with some additional funding, and Kansas Renew finished off the top so we could have 6 complete distillation sets. That way I have 3 sets per class, and it's just not kids observing something, it's them doing hands-on application to the distillation process of the corn and milo into ethanol gasoline.
Okay, my name's Sarah Vanderhoff, and I'm a junior at Eisenhower High School, and this year we got the opportunity to go to Pratt ethanol plant. Actually got to see like how big the process actually is and what they use, and they have to put it in like these giant tin cans. Some of them were like 150,000 gallons full of, I don't know, like corn mash and stuff like that. And then we are able to go to a lab and see actually how the process works in such a smaller scale, and then them testing it. And that's kind of what we did back here, is like the lab work and stuff like that.
My name's Marcus. I'd probably say the coolest part would be the chemist part, because at the plant we learned that there's like 2 major like categories and everything, and one was chemists and the other was like the actual like workers that would go outside and make it. And on this one I got to be the chemist with my friend and everything, and it was pretty fun. We had to mix a bunch of stuff and it got a little confusing, but our teacher helped us out and everything. So
we were provided with this equipment, and it was just a fun opportunity thing to do. We do have some data that we have to fill out, and that's probably how it's going to be graded, and see if we have the correct numbers and calculations. So we'd have to let it boil, and then once it started boiling, we had to make sure that it wouldn't rise to where it would go out the wrong flask part. And then we had a funnel and a little tube where we would pour water down the tube so it would keep it cool, so it would turn into a liquid back again after it evaporated into a gas. So it would go back into a liquid form, and that's how we got the ethanol from it.
I mean, I personally want to be an engineer, and I just never thought that there'd be a job thing out there that you could be an engineer to work on ethanol, gas, and everything else.
The job opportunities are boundless in agriculture, and I try to educate my students in that, because they're not, all they think of is the farmer behind the wheel of a tractor. They don't think of the individuals that supply the farmer with all their feedstock or the materials that they need to grow their crops, all the chemists, biologists, all of the agricultural support personnel at our wildlife parks and our soil commission, and all those individuals, the geologists, the watershed people. So we go over, every time we have a unit, we go over every single job that can be possibly created from that industry and that application of the information. And I always put agricultural ties to it, because after all, we're an agricultural state.
Hello friends, I'm Ernie Rodina.
And I'm Dawn Dawson with the Better Horses Radio Show.
For over 9 years, we've been bringing the Better Horses Radio Show to markets all across the Midwest. We talk about God, lots about horses.
We talk about cows, we talk about horse health, we talk to top trainers, and we even talk about Roy Rogers.
We are having a blast with Better Horses Radio Show and would love to take it to a market near you.
So visit our website at betterhorsesradio.com and let us or your local radio station know you'd like to hear it in your area.
The Better Horses Radio Show is unbelievable.